Well, I've been in and around Australian politics for more than 30 years, and I've yet to meet a single politician who's enjoyed being in opposition. That's certainly true of the Liberal Party right now, where parliamentarians in Canberra and every state parliament, bar Tasmania, find themselves on the opposition benches. But a period in opposition does mean at least there is an opportunity to review the direction a party's been heading in and to try and re-anchor it perhaps in its fundamental virtues. I'm pleased to say there are plenty of people in the Liberal Party who are putting their shoulder to the wheel and doing that right now, including my next guest, Richard Alston, who's written one of the chapters in a new book, Dignity and Prosperity, The Future of Liberal Australia, edited by David Stevens. Richard Alston was Communications Minister in the Howard government. He's a former Liberal Party National President and former Australian High Commissioner to the UK. He's the author of a number of books, including More to Life Than Politics, a memoir, 2020, Donald Trump, The Ultimate Contrarian, and I think my favourite, Richard, the ABC, inside Australia's largest sheltered workshop. Welcome to Battleground, Richard, and it's great to have you on.
Thank you, Nick. After 10 years in opposition, I think I can identify with what you've been saying. But I must say it was a good learning experience for me.
Well, let's just go back to that before we start on your chapter, because you say you spent 10 years in opposition. The 10 of you remind me, was it 12? The Liberal Party spent in opposition during the Hawke and Keating period. It was frustrating. Sure, we could see that frustration from the outside, but there was, I think, a very conscious attempt by some key people in the party, John Howard, of course, but also people like Andrew Robb, when he was a federal director, and others, including yourself, actually to use that time wisely, to actually have a think about where you were coming from, what the party stood for, and what you would do once you're in government. I think that's very important, isn't it? Do you sense that activity is going on now in the party?
Well, I read something recently from Peter Dutton to Dennis Shanahan saying that 15 policies were already locked away and there's plenty more to come. So I think Peter's certainly on the case, and he's very well qualified to do it because he's had 20 years plus in Parliament, and that's one of the prerequisites of being a successful Prime Minister.
Yeah, because I think we've seen, and I've noticed at the state level, particularly there in Victoria, notably, I think that a lot of effort goes into getting into government, but a government you can find yourself in government and then not quite know what to do and find yourself out of government as a result pretty quickly. I think that's true of the last government in Victoria, without wishing to be too judgmental. That is a balance that you've got to strike, isn't it, in opposition?
Yes, it is, and I think it's fair to say that Daniel Andrews, who I have no respect for at all, but is a cunning and ruthless politician, and he focused endlessly on non-policy issues, and he got rid of the one-term Liberal government. So you've got to be ready for that sort of thing and prepared, and I think opposition is the time to learn.